So we are asked to rationalize the denominator. We have cube root of 5 divided by 24. This is the first problem. Now if you recall from class, if you're taking the nth root of a fraction, nth root of a over b divided by b is equal to the nth root of a divided by the nth root of b. So we can do the same thing here in our example, the first one right here. You have cube root of 5 divided by cube root of 24. Okay. Before we rationalize the denominator, we need to simplify first. If you notice, the denominator is 24, which is 8 times 3. Now, the cube root of 8 is equal to 2. So there you can simplify it. So that's going to give us cube root of 5 divided by cube root of 8 times 3. And that's equal to, this comes out, cube root of 8 is equal to 2. Remember, that's 2 cube is equal to 8. So that's going to give us cube root of 5 divided by 2 cube root of 3. Now, to rationalize the denominator, we need to remove the 3 from the radical here. Now, if you recall, cube root of 3 doesn't come out, so what can you multiply this with so that you can remove it from the radical? Now something has to be cubed. This is 3, which is 3 to the 1. So if you multiply this by cube root of 3 square, you're going to end up with cube root of 3 cube. And you know that the cube root of 3 cube is simply 3. So here you have cube root of 3 cube. The 3 here, the exponent, cancels the radical, and what comes out, whatever's in here, which is 3. So remember, whatever you multiply by the denominator, you have to multiply by the numerator. So 3 square. You can write also 9 if you like. Now this gives us what? Here we are multiplying 2 radical with the same index. If you recall, the nth root of a times the nth root of b is equal to nth root of a times b. So we can multiply what's inside the radical here. So we're going to end up with cube root 5 times 3 squared, that's a 9. 9 times 5 is 45 divided by. So this is going to give us 2. We can also multiply these two. So cube root of 3 times cube root of 3 squared, that's cube root of 3 cube. You may also write this as 27 if you like. So 3 cube is 27, and cube root of 27 is 3. So that's going to give us 2 times, this comes out 3, which is cube root of 45 divided by 2 times 3, which is 6. So this is our first problem. Now let's go ahead and do the second problem here. We have 5 divided by cube root of 5z squared. Now again, we're going to try to simplify the denominator, but you realize there's nothing to simplify here. Nothing comes out as is. So here we have the denominator has a number 5 and has a variable. So for something to come out, it has to be cubed first. Remember, because we have cube root. So if we want to remove the 5, since I have 5 to the 1, you want to multiply by cube root 5 squared. You can also write 25. And here I have z squared. For it to come out, it has to be z cubed, so I have to multiply by z. Now go ahead and multiply the numerator by the same thing. Here we have cube root of 5 squared times z, or 25 times z. Okay. So now we're going to have, this is going to give us 5 times cube root of 5 squared, that's 25z, divided by cube root of 5 times 5 squared, that's 5 cubed, or 125, times z cubed. And this comes out as, the denominator comes out as 5z. If you notice, 5 and the 5 cancel out, and you're going to end up with cube root of 25z divided by z. Okay? So let's do the third problem. Third problem, we have 2 divided by cube root of 9n. Again, if something's going to come out, it has to be cubed first. You may choose to multiply by, since we have a 9 by 9 squared, so it becomes 9 cubed, it comes out as 9. But if you notice that 9 is 3 square, so you can change that. So you can write this, if you like, as 2 over cube root of 3 square n. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and multiply by, we're going to rationalize the denominator. So 3 square, for it to come out, it has to be 3 cubed. So I have to multiply here by 3. And I have n to the 1 power, so that means I have to multiply by n square for this to come out. So you have cube root of 3n square. So now we have, this is going to give us 2 cube root of 3n square divided by cube root of 3 cubed times n cubed. And if you notice, the 3 and the n come out, and then you're gonna have, I'm gonna switch to a pen since I'm losing my pencil here. So 2 cube root of 3n square divided by the 3, the cube cancels a cube root, so 3 come out, and n cubed becomes n here. Nothing to simplify. This is your final answer. So number 4, we have 4th root here. So 5 divided by 4th root. Again, for something to come out, you have to raise it to the index of the radical. The index here is 4. So something has to be raised to the 4th power for it to come out. Now, before you rationalize the denominator, if you notice, 49 is 7 squared. So you may want to write this. So you have 5 divided by 4th root of 49 is 7 squared. For you to rationalize it, again, something has to be raised to the 4th power inside the radical. So if I were to multiply the denominator by 7 squared, I would get 4th root 7 squared times 7 squared, or 4th root 7 raised to the 4th power. So this is what we wanted, something raised to the 4th power. So again, whatever you multiply by the denominator, you have to multiply by the numerator. So that give us 5 4th root 7 squared is 49 divided by 4th root of 7 to the 4th power. The power cancels the 4th power cancels the 4th root, so the 7 comes out. You have 5 4th root 49 divided by 7.